Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Episode of the Nintendo Shack Podcast, episode 359, April 2nd at 9 a.m. That's not today's date, but that is an important date coming up. Today's important date that Donnie was like, what's today? The Super Bowl! It's Super Bowl Sunday! Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. It's going to be really embarrassing to listen to if they lose today.
I didn't even know it was the Super Bowl today.
Wow. Wow. What kind of football fan are you, Donnie?
Not nearly as one as I used to be. That is for 100% certain. I used to like live and die, but the older I get, I don't know. The Browns have sucked for so long. Like,
it's hard to be a football fan when you're a fan of the Browns.
Right. So it's just like, it's almost out of a protective nature that I don't let it have so much power over me. It's to protect myself from disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah, I am getting a lot of questions of who I'm rooting for because they are playing against the Chiefs, which is Taylor's team.
The Kansas City Swifts.
Although, if we are
they should change the name.
The Swifts? Oh my God.
Yeah,
they should
have like a little like wind blow logo, like a little tornado or something.
Can you imagine how angry all of the old white men would be if they did
it'd be
that?
The best though. Like what if it was like an alternate, like a one-off special, like one weekend they're just where the Kansas City Swifts.
They would be so mad. I would love it.
It would be the best.
That would be so good. That would be so good. Yeah, I want to see Taylor happy, and I was all decked out in my Chiefs gear last year, and I was very happy that they won. And you know what? If the Eagles lose, I'll be happy for Taylor. I won't be super duper crushed. But you know what? I gotta root for my team. And
you gotta root for your team.
And Taylor was originally an Eagles fan to begin with. She was born and raised in the Philadelphia area. So
oh wow, I didn't know that. She's from Philly.
Her dad is a massive Eagles fan.
Well, then she's got to root for the Eagles then.
Jason Kelsey and Kylie Kelsey are rooting for the Eagles.
You can't give up all of yourself just because of who you're dating. That's a problem. That's a red flag.
I think she should do the whole Donna Kelsey route and wear half, like we were saying last week, half of
yeah, I lose all respect for fans to do that. That's just a cop-out.
Well, Mama Kelsey has to do that.
At that point, okay, if that is fine. But if you're another fan doing that, just because you don't want to upset, then don't wear any jersey.
Kyle,
just
that's
put
not
on
your
happen. Clothes.
He's not going to propose. This is not about Taylor. This is about football.
Oh man, I hope he does propose.
No, he's not going to.
I just want the game to just be completely overshadowed. I'm rooting for chaos.
She doesn't want it to be about her.
What if she's like a secret guest in the halftime show?
Theoretically, she could be because
she's right there.
Kendrick Lamar and they have a song together.
I did not know that. Wow. I bet my son will be watching then. I'm not even going to watch the game. I'm going to play
Donnie,
video games.
He won best. He won record of the year.
I saw
at the Grammys last week.
Yeah, I saw that. I was all over the news, the TikTok, the Discord. You can't get away from that sort of stuff. I'm not hating on it. I just don't know anything about him, so I'm like kind of indifferent.
I love him. He brought
most people do, right?
Drake single-handedly.
Yeah, he brought back Rap Wars.
Yes, and it was good. And then so he dropped a diss track, and then Drake took a month to do a comeback, and then Kendrick came back with his the next day. It was.
Did anybody get shot?
We're in 2025. This is civil times.
I'm
Donnie.
just saying, real rap. I grew up in real rap wars where they used to shoot each other. So.
No.
Stuff meant you had to back up what you said on the microphone.
Anyway, I love Kendrick.
Well, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for your halftime show, and may your ads be funny and plentiful. And are you going to watch Is it like the Nickelodeon stream or whatever it was last year?
That's my first choice of what to watch, but I'm going to be at my parents' house with lots of other people.
So you're going to watch the game.
So, well, last year we did put it on for a little bit, and they thought it was funny. So maybe we'll watch it like maybe one quarter. We'll see. We'll see.
Doesn't the Super Bowl Sunday, don't they have like a dog show?
The Puppy Bowl.
I'm gonna watch that.
I think it's at 3:00 on Animal Planet.
Oh, I don't have Animal Planet. I'm sure I can stream it somewhere. It's got to be like everything is like finding its way back to Netflix or YouTube. Like everybody's kind of figured this out. They're like, okay, we give up. We all can't have our own service, so let's put it on Netflix or YouTube.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So for video games, I played a little bit more of
Madden.
No.
See? What fake fan.
Fake
You
fan,
should be
I
out
know.
here crushing the Chiefs with the Eagles right now, just running it down their throat all day.
That would be good. I should do that. No, I did my South Park Island adventure a little bit more. And I got some tools, like I got a net and I got my flippers and stuff, and so like I'm able to catch stuff. So it's getting a little bit better. It still feels very fetch questy. I think that's just like kind of the nature of it.
Aren't they all? Like even Animal Crossing kind of is that. Like you have freedom to do what you want, but if you want to progress, you've got to go, go plant the flowers.
That's kind of how it is. Yeah, that is kind of how it is. But it feels like there's like a little bit of those kind of requirements to get to that point, which now that I'm thinking about it with Animal Crossing, the whole beginning of the game is kind of like that before you really get freedom. So, I really shouldn't be judging it super harshly.
Does Hello Kitty have freedom? Like, can you just do whatever you want? Or is it like, this is your mission, this is your next mission, this is your next mission?
There's lots of missions at one time, so you can pick what you want to do.
Freedom of choice.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can't just like go figure it out. I guess like that's the thing with Animal Crossing is you can just go figure it out. You can start planning things and crossing things and see what happens.
Yeah, I would say it's like kind of like that, but to a lesser extent. The island is huge, though. It's way bigger than your Animal Crossing island. Like there are more things to find and explore. Like there's more things that you can like pick up on the ground.
And you
and
have to unlock like different sections of it, right?
Yeah, you don't get access to the whole thing right away. But like as you unlock more, like I've already unlocked a few different parts of the island. If you already have Apple Arcade, definitely try it. I don't think it feels like a mobile game, so like
don't do that.
I don't know if it feels different on mobile. I'm glad that I got it on console instead of mobile. But I don't think, I think if you're gonna try it and you already have Apple Arcade, why not try it? Give it a go before you spend the $40 or whatever.
I'm gonna buy it for my wife.
Yeah. I think she'll like it.
I'm just waiting for the physical copy. My thing
she won't be confused like with Little Kitty Big City. Remember how she was like confused? Like, what do I do? Where do I go? It's a lot more direct with telling you what you need to do.
That's my concern. Yeah. My concern was that it might be a bit too much game for her.
It's not
like Animal Crossing. She understands.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not.
I might play it myself.
And there's like a little guiding light that you can turn on or off that like literally guides you where you need to go. Where to go.
Oh, that's okay. Perfect.
Yeah. You can turn it off, but like it's I like it.
I mean,
like, tell me where to go. I don't want to think. So yeah. I missed out. This is not Nintendo related, but I missed out on a really good sale. I wanted to get Red Dead Redemption 2 on Steam because I want to play it on my Steam Deck instead of the PS5. And it was on sale.
You want to play it on the Steam Deck instead of the PS5?
I do. Yeah, I do. And so it was on sale for $15 and it was like until February 6th. So I'm like, okay. So then February 6th, I go to buy it and the sale was already over. Rude. And I was really pissed off. And then here's what I found out. I'm so mad at Rockstar right now. I told Josh I was like really sad to him, and I'm like, I missed my chance. It's back to $70 now. He's like, oh, like I have Red Dead Redemption 2 on my Steam. Like, I just gotta. We've done this before where he logs into my Steam Deck and you can do game sharing. So like I can borrow it from his library, but it's still on my account. Why are you giving me a look?
There's a better way of doing that.
Oh my God, you might need to tell me because you can't do that. So I was trying to figure it out. I was like, why can't I borrow Red Dead Redemption? I can borrow his other games. And we Googled it and Rockstar doesn't allow it. Ah!
Okay, well that might be an issue. I don't know on a game by game basis, but Steam does have family plans, and you and Josh should lock into a family plan together.
Does it cost money?
No, it's absolutely free. And what it does is it shares both of your libraries together. You'll have to do it in person, which shouldn't be a problem with you guys. This is a new feature. They launched it last year. When they first launched it, you could pair up with anybody online. They sneakily changed it at some point. I don't remember, like this fall, where it's like Netflix, like you have to be on the same like IP Wi-Fi. Yeah. But once you do it, then you're good. So like you could leave and use it forever. But long story short, Dev, Josh, myself, and Nathan are in a Steam family plan.
Wow.
Where we have like 10,000 games because we've all been buying Steam games forever. And anytime anybody buys a game, it just goes into the library and anybody can just play it. Just like all the other family plans, I don't think you can't play it at the same time. Right. So like one of you may have to go offline or something. But we literally never run into issues. It's even like smarter than that because a lot of us have a lot of the same games. So it'll even put a number in the library letting you know how many licenses of that game you own.
Did we do the family share plan? Is that what we tried to do? The family share?
But it's not a game by game thing. It just opens up the whole library. It's like a set it and forget it type of thing.
That's what we were doing. That's family plan, family share. What's it called?
It's called the Steam Family Plan.
That's what we did and it didn't work?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We did that and it didn't work.
So yeah, some publishers can opt out of it. So maybe Rockstar said, F that noise.
Wow.
Which doesn't surprise me because Rockstar hates PC. They hate PC gaming. And that's why all their games come late to PC. That's like, they absolutely hate it. So I think they would love to get off of it if they could.
So now I have to wait for it to go back on sale again for $15 because I'm not spending $70 on that game.
Not to wish harm on anybody, but I think it's worth. I think I would feel bad if I didn't point it out. So this isn't at Rebecca. Anybody out there that's listening, if you want to family share with your significant other, you can only get in and out of it in year increments. So if y'all break up, you're stuck in that family plan for a year until you can get out. So just keep in mind. If you're like, come over, bring me your Steam code. Like, you may have to have like an arranged.
Wait, you have to be there in person to get out of it too.
I don't think so. I think you can get out of it, but I think it takes a year. You can't change your Steam family plan for a year. I think.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you that Jack loves Red Dead Redemption 2. I think it's his favorite game. I saw him when he finished it.
It's probably worth full price, but like I'm gonna wait.
In tears. I guarantee you.
You
can buy that game right now from somewhere for $15. That game has been on sale.
I can for the PS5. Times. I know I can for PlayStation.
No, on Steam. I guarantee you on Steam you can, yeah. Okay. Do you just not use like any of the Steam code sites? There's like lots of shops online where you can buy
CD keys and stuff.
Not even that, like even more like Fanatical, Green Man Gaming.
You told me about them.
Yeah.
I know. I should research it a little bit.
But that game has just been on sale for like forever.
Yeah.
Ultimate Edition PC $19.99 on CD keys. $20.
On CD keys? Are you serious? Wait, that's the price that I wanted. Oh my god. CD key. Oh my god, Donnie.
Yeah, I'm the deals with Donnie. Like I'm all about.
Send it to me, Rachel. Send it to me. Red.
All about saving some cash.
I love you so much.
It's full price on Fanatical though, so they're not helping you.
PC. Wait, but is it Steam?
$16.72 on Eniba.com, which I have used before. Yeah.
But is it
That's
Steam?
A little bit shadier.
No, it's the Rocket Games launcher. It's
so that's the thing. Even on Steam, when you launch the game, it launches the Rockstar launcher. Like it's.
But can I do that on my Steam Deck?
So I don't know. That's a Garrett. I don't have a Steam Deck. I don't know.
Ugh.
I'm sure you can. Like if you can play it, I'm sure you can. But I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
Okay. I'll research.
Steam Deck is so. I don't know. I've lost all in any. It's crazy how like complete full circle I went. I went on this journey and I was like, I want more games and more frames. And then as I kept messing with all of this stuff that you're bringing up now, I just was like, I just want it to work again. Like, and I've come all the way back to my Switch. And now I run into this. I'm like, oh God, just screw it. Never mind. Like, I'll just play it on Switch. It's been like a 2 or 3 year journey for me, but yeah. I can't be fucking around with Linux apps and plugins. Garrett's like, you can do it. You got to go to the desktop mode and install this. I'm like,
it's so easy.
My God.
All you got to do is these 12 steps.
You get your serial key and plug it in from your file repository. I'm like, oh my God. Just wait for Switch 2, Rebecca.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I would be kind of mad if I got it and then it came on Switch 2. Maybe I should wait. Maybe that was a sign.
It's coming to Switch 2.
Was that my sign,
sure.
Donnie? Missing it? Was that my sign to wait?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I guarantee you, I think Red Dead 2 is coming to Switch 2. That's happening.
I don't want anyone all up in my notifications being like, oh, she'd rather play it on the Switch, lesser graphics, lesser performance. I watched a YouTube video yesterday where they got Red Dead Redemption 2 working on a 460p TV CRT, and it was amazing. So that aesthetic.
I think it's funny that you go there, because like anybody that would say that, you just said you don't want to play it on PlayStation, you want to play it on Steam. So you're already doing that. You're already playing the lesser version of it. So like, What does it matter?
Exactly.
Yeah. So. I've come back to your not fully. There is still like a standard. Like, I don't want to play no damn game at 15 frames a second. Like, that's a problem. But I'm totally fine, I think, more than ever playing games at like 1080p. I'm like, this looks fine. Like, this is not a big deal. Who cares?
Wow. I'm proud of you, Donnie.
Honestly, because 1080p, it depends on your screen. It depends on, pixel density and all that stuff goes in. But the lower you go, usually, the better the performance, which I value more than anything.
Yep.
Even on my... Dev talks about this all the time. Honestly, you don't know who to blame is? It's the PC that I bought. I bought this giant Alienware expensive thing, right? That can do all the things.
Yeah.
And what I've discovered is that I like playing in a smaller window, 1600p. It's plenty big. And everything runs like twice the frame rate. And I can turn it around. I'm like, oh, this is better than full screen 4K. I'm like, this is better than that.
Which is probably why I've always felt that way.
Yeah. So I'm just like, and I think it's really helped me come back to Switch. I'm like, no, this is fine. Like, there's no problem here. So
good. I'm proud of you. That's growth, as we call it.
Yeah.
All right, what have you been up to? I don't want to talk about Steam this whole time.
So you said you were proud of me. I want you to remember that as we go into this.
Oh no.
Because we need to fucking talk about this Life is Strange game.
The remastered, I hate it.
No.
I will never defend it.
I have completed double exposure. And I have a lot of problems. Like, I've got real issues.
Wait, about the game or the performance?
The game.
Or both? The game?
Not the problem. I'm not worried about the performance.
You didn't beat it before this? You put it down?
I just played it for the first time.
You did?
Week. Yeah.
Oh, God. All right, it's been long enough. What are your problems?
So last week on the show, I had taken it for a spin. I had just gotten it. I popped it in the Switch. I had taken it around. I was like, hey, Max, this is great. I walked around this bowling alley. I took some photos. I was like, this feels great. It's very responsive. I'm all in. I can't wait till Life is Strange.
Okay.
And I'm playing it, and it sets up Life is Strange things. I'm meeting characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wooing women. I'm solving murders. I'm like all in. This is so Life is Strange. This is my shit.
Yeah.
Rebecca, why is it X-Men? What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened?
I don't know why everybody
to the end of the game.
I don't know why everybody has a problem with that, because we already know that there's lots of other people out there with powers.
I know, but I don't
Daniel and Sean, and not Sean. Who's the little kid? The little
Captain Spirit kid.
Captain Spirit and Daniel.
You're right. You're right.
What's her name? Alex Chen.
But I don't want that. But I don't want this.
We knew
right,
it already.
But I don't want Avengers team up together.
They're not teaming up together necessarily.
Oh, that's what it seemed like, Rebecca. That's exactly what it looks like. They're hinting towards some Marvel Avengers shit.
I'll judge the next game until we've played it.
Oh, this is not what I wanted. Oh,
okay,
it's
well, that was the last 30 seconds of the game.
It's so well, hang on. So, like if I was actually writing a review, what I would say was, as I played the game, I understood why they were like doing what they were doing. Like you said, there's precedent for this.
Sure.
The game was good. I think the writing is like very like convoluted in this game.
The writing was fine.
And I have a lot of like issues with like the plot developments. Like I still don't actually think I really understand like how everything happened. Like I do get it. I don't know if I like want to get into spoiled territory. Like I get it with certain characters being able to shapeshift in nonsense, but like with the timelines, like the dual alternate timelines, that's where I really get kind of fucked up. Because I realize that like Safi gets shot in one, is alive in the other, but she's shapeshifting, can move between the two, and like you can move objects between the two.
You can move objects between the two. She can't do that. She can't go in other timelines. So
I'm so confused that like the actual like trigger, the Max pulling the trigger and I still don't actually understand how everything took place, and then the detective part really fucking throws me for a loop.
The detective's dead. He's not coming back.
So but like he's the detective on the case that still exists in the timeline. People like this detective just goes missing in the middle of a murder mystery and nobody gives a shit. Like what the fuck?
That is kind of weird that nobody
it's
thought
so and they just end it. They're like, that's it.
They kind of did explain that like a little bit in like one of the things where like you who's Moses, is that his name? He does a little bit of research into the guy, and like you can see that he has like no family. His only family died when he was like so like that kind of explains why nobody might be looking for him.
Of course, there's a whole police department that should be looking for him. He works.
But I think that also. But I think what happened, actually, I think what that explained, now it's coming back to me, is that like was kind of explained that he was like kind of written out of history, kind of thing. So
I told you before, like when they did the trailers leading this game, I was concerned because I don't like time travel shit, especially when it's like butterfly effect. Alternate reality type
All
stuff.
of your favorite games are time travel.
I know you're going to say Zelda, but Zelda doesn't do this. Okay. It doesn't do this. I was pretty like, I understand what they did. It's almost admirable that they went this direction. But ultimately, as I sat there and watched the final credit, especially as they tried to go like full fucking Avengers, I was so upset.
It's not Avengers.
Oh, fuck, Max Caulfield will return. Like, you might as well just put the Michael Bay shit and get out of here. That is nonsense, Rebecca. This is not what I want from this series at all. I was like, why? Why are they doing this to one of my favorite series? Oh, it makes me want to cry.
I don't know how you can judge something that doesn't exist yet.
Oh, because of what does exist. That's why I'm judging it that way. I'm very let down.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, okay, regardless of that, and I know you said the plot was a little convoluted. What are your other thoughts? Like, don't focus on where it's going. Focus on what it is.
Well, I honestly, up until chapter 3, I think I was really loving it. I loved the part where you were like, trying to get the camera out of the lab, like with the detective and stuff, and having to hop back. I was like, this is really cool puzzling stuff.
Yeah, that kind of made me feel back like when we were with Chloe in the principal's office there
was tension. There was tension.
I was like afraid. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I didn't even mention that. How do you feel about the Chloe stuff? Because that's a
well, let's talk about that, because I'm a Bay AY ending, where in my ending Chloe is dead. So I think we probably had different implications.
So the first time I played the game, I saved Chloe like I think everybody else. For this time when I played it, when they gave me the decision, I went your way. Because over the years, I think that's the canonical ending that they just won't address. But that's what they wanted you to do.
Yeah.
So I went that way. Having finished the game, I then looked up. I was interested. Well, what if Chloe's alive? What do they do? And I kind of hate that. So if there's people that
I figured I wouldn't like that. Yeah,
it's really cheap. It's just really cheap. Have you seen it?
No, but I had a theory that anyone who chose the Chloe ending for double exposure probably didn't like the game as much as the people who picked the Arcadia Bay ending for double exposure. I think she in our game she's just very full of grief, and it's hard for her to move on to like
feels right.
To flirting with new people, and she, has been kind of lonely and stuff, so I don't really know what happens if you pick that Chloe's alive. Like, how do they explain that they aren't together anymore? Like,
yeah, let me explain it to you. So you say like, hey, we were high school sweethearts, and then you get pressed and like, what happened? And it's like, we just grew apart and broke up one summer. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? There's a letter that explains it further. When you're at her house, you can read the letter, and the letter essentially is Chloe couldn't trust Max because she was always scared that she could always be rewinding time. So she felt like manipulated, and that led to a breakup. And I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense if you've ever played the first game. And having played them back to back,
Chloe wouldn't do that.
Having played them back to back, like I just did, made that worse because I was like way too in the know. I was like, oh, this is some bullshit.
Chloe was psyched about her time traveling and wanted her to abuse it.
She's like, oh my God, you've got powers. Like, let's do it. Like, how much change do I have in my pocket?
If anything, Max didn't want to use it anymore and Chloe wanted her to.
Right. So like, it was utter
They
shit.
should have retconned that by saying like, me and Chloe, are still close, but I wanted to pursue this out here, so we're taking a break, and she's back home doing something cool, and I'm over
I also
here
didn't realize that she was a teacher. I thought she was a student for like half the game.
Yeah, she's kind of like, she's not like a professor, but she's
like hanging out with kids and shit. I was like at some point somebody's like Miss Caulfield. I'm like, why is it Miss Caulfield? And then having
she's
finished
like
the game,
like a TA kind of figure.
It's like, are they gonna? They should have at some point like had. I thought it would have been cool if like you'd begun the game with her like leading a lesson, just like in the first game when she's like the student.
That would have been cool,
right?
Yeah.
But like I didn't realize it until the end. I was like, oh, I guess she's a teacher.
Yeah.
I was interested in before the plot gets all kinds of which timeline are you in and who's real and who's not and who's fake. Before it all goes to hell, I was really interested in Lucas, the Maya, like that sub story, and they didn't do anything with that.
That doesn't. That doesn't really pan out the way that you think it might.
I was also really interested in Gwen and Amanda, and those also feel like loops that just fall off.
Gwen. Yeah.
And I feel like there's
I feel like it's set up for a sequel. Like I think these kids.
It's like half the game. It's just full blown cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And I do feel like what they're essentially trying to set up is some sort of either like Civil War or Power Rangers where they all come together. Like if I had to guess, I was thinking like Safi and others versus Max and others, or they all come together.
It sounds like Safi wants to recruit Diamond, who I thought was an interesting character, and I would like to play as her in the next game.
Also, what happened to the Abraxas shit? Here's like, oh, it's a secret society. Here's a puzzle bot, and then it's like, and none of that mattered.
I think they kind of set it up that you thought that they would be the villains, and they weren't.
The same thing with Lucas. There's too much of that. It's not that it's the shift. It's not the bait and switch. I like that. The twist is good. It's the fact that they set up I think they set up too many storylines that they never pay off.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of what you did in chapter 1 and 2 and 3 feel like wasted time because there's no outcome. You're like, well, then why did I just do all of that? Just to get to the end and be like, oh, it was Safi all along and an alternate time. I'm like, fucking God.
It seems like they were setting up like that they wanted you to think like multiple things could be like the threat. Like Abraxas could be the threat. Gwen could be the threat. Lucas could be the threat. Vin could be the threat. But like they wanted to make
Vin.
it,
don't even get me started.
Wait, okay. Can I say something? Hear me out, Donnie.
Oh, no.
Hear me out. This was the first time in any Life is Strange game that I wooed the boy instead of the girl.
Wow. You went after this super
I
creep.
was head over heels for Vin.
Super creep.
He is not a super creep.
Super creep.
Not at all. No.
He turns every conversation into like, let's bang.
He was charming and he had Riz. He had Riz, actually. He rizzed me up. I liked him better than Amanda.
There's so much like Florida.
Although I was a two-timer and I did kiss them both. So what does that say about me?
Hey, this is a Life is Strange game. I need a lesbian couple to tell me how to feel emotions.
That's how I feel. I always, every single time, I did the girl. Even with Sean and Daniel. Even with Sean.
I was all after Amanda.
What's her name?
Cassidy.
Cassidy. You know, but
still my favorite.
Vin, I really liked Vin.
So here's the thing. I'm really torn bittersweet. Honestly, like final conclusion, this game is like mid as fuck. I really don't like it. But here's the thing. As a game, like playing it and the story, I like it a lot better than True Colors. But you know how I felt. Like I was really let down with True Colors just because I thought it was kind of boring and
I think
just didn't do a lot. This game does a lot. It does too much, to be honest. Like you're doing too much. Like the intimacy of a Life is Strange game is completely missing here.
Yeah.
And that's what really I almost wish it was a different. It's almost like Until Dawn or something. It's like I wish it was a different game. Just because I don't know. For me, it doesn't feel true to Life is Strange, and because of that, I think I hate it even more that it's centered around Max because that makes it feel worse. It's like, no, don't bring her back after all of this to do this. I wanted more.
I'm sorry.
I was pretty upset, pretty bummed. But like, if I had to rank them all in a series,
it would be higher.
As much as I don't like where it goes, it's very like Last of Us. I think the game is good. I just don't like what it's doing.
It's not personally made for Donnie Reese, and that's why it sucks.
And when I say The Last of Us, the listeners don't know, Last of Us 2. I love The Last of Us, one of my favorite games ever. The first one, literally. And then I play Last of Us 2, which I think is an amazing game that I just hate. Like, I just hate it for what it's doing, but it's a great game. I feel somewhat similarly here. I think it's a good game. I think the puzzling and the gameplay, I think, are good. I think what they've done is good.
I really like the power in this one better than. It's my favorite power since the first game.
I don't. No, I would disagree with you there.
Why?
Because it's detective vision. It's Batman's power. Like, I've played so many games like this where you just hit the thing, and I also why can't I swap between? Why do I have to go to a specific spot?
Because people can't see you. If you just did it, then everybody would see you disappear and they would have questions.
It's a bit tedious, but there's people by that spot. That spot isn't always is it right next? There are people right next to that spot after the damn time.
But it was always secretive. They couldn't see.
I felt a little tedious.
I assume you didn't do the cat content DLC.
No.
I did.
No.
It was really cute.
Tell me about it. What am I missing out on?
In one of the early episodes, you hear something meowing in a bush, and then later you find this cat that needs a home, and you can choose what color it is. Like, you can be like, "Oh, what a cute," and then you have to be like orange, gray, black cat, and then you can name it, and then it's in your apartment the whole time, anytime that you go there. And then the part where somebody broke into your apartment, the cat is up on the fridge, freaking out, hissing, won't let you go near him and everything. Its food bowl is all knocked over and stuff. It was not worth paying extra money for, but it was very cute included. And it gave a lot of personality to Max.
The chat is having a time with me.
Yeah,
here.
They are.
It's detective vision. I've played 1,000 games that just do that. I like the rewind feature better.
I didn't say I didn't like I said it's my favorite since the first game.
And I just don't like why they even have to change it.
I like it. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been cool if we had it again.
Yeah, why even mess with this? And it's just, I didn't, outside of the gameplay element in the lab, outside of that, I don't think it added a whole lot. It was almost it was just, we've done so much light and dark world type things where you hop back and it just didn't feel very inventive, I guess, the way that I think Rewind did. Like we had Rewind with like something like Braid, right? But like rewinding to make decisions was really cool. Especially the way it would play on your, like, Chloe's going to remember that. Like, I thought that was cool. Or like, when you're in the diner and it's like, how much stuff is on my, like, your parking ticket. You didn't have to just let her know that you had a parking ticket. You had to let her know the date off. Like, it was very kind of inventive in that regard. I don't feel like this was. It was just like, well, you can't see it. Go find the spot. Up now you can see it. Go to the spot again. Up now you can. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I liked it, but I can understand all of your criticisms there.
The eavesdropping aspect of that, the little listening mode.
I like that.
That was neat. Could have used more of that. That was cool to like get stuff. Also, how do you I was playing it for a little bit with my wife, and she was really into it because there was a moment in the game where you're just like snooping around. Mm-hmm. And I was like, my wife's a huge snoop. And I forgot to, I was going to ask you, are you also, so like, how do you like Max just being Snoop to like,
I think she's always been that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm almost inclined to agree with you, having just played the first game, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like the motivations were more there, for like, it was really weird for her to like go snooping around like this professor's office and then like, or eavesdrop on the phone call and then get caught and be like, oh, well, we're cool. Like, hug it out. It's like, no, like you'd be escorted off of campus.
Wait, oh my God. Wait, the guy was so mad at me for snooping on the call.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, I never want to talk to you ever again.
Just like in this dude's briefcase.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't know, rummaging through your shit.
I hated that guy.
But she's a huge snoop. That's like her secret power, is that she uses her powers to just snoop around everybody's computers.
Yeah. Well, she did that in the first game. She used her powers to snoop.
Yeah. I was trying to think like you are
she
like
snooped in David Madden stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know. That's generally that's I'm very almost somewhat I'm somewhat conflicted on it. Like I thought what they did is quality. Yeah. I just don't really like where they're going with it.
That's fair. I don't know how you can judge if it's not, we don't know where they're going with it. Like you're just assuming a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Because it feels very similar to other things that I've done.
I would love to play as Diamond in the next game. I thought she was very interesting. And
she was interesting.
Very interesting that she has a power.
Everybody's got power.
Like I would like to know. Well, it's not like this.
Wait till Magneto shows up.
How cool would it be if we come across Daniel or someone or Alex?
What if all of Life is Strange is just a prequel to X-Men?
Maybe it is, Donnie.
Professor X rolls up and he's like, I've got a mission. Like, here's your shirt.
All right. What else besides Life is Strange have you been playing?
It feels like they wanted to set this up to like maybe reach a broader audience, was like my take from the storyline. What do you think about that? I don't think this is a story that was like made for like the Life is Strange. It's honestly, it's like they're like, we need to expand the reach of this if we're going to keep making these.
Maybe. But I think that they definitely wanted to cater, I think, a lot to fans who have been asking them to bring back, Max and Chloe. Like, I feel like that has been what they've been begging them to do, is to, let us be Max again, let us see Chloe again. And we didn't see Chloe again, but, I think that they tried to do a lot of new stuff with like True Colors, and people were not about that, so they're like, fine, we'll go back to Max. Like,
I'm almost kind of interested as an experiment. I kind of want to see if I can get Jack to play this, whereas I don't think Jack would like the original Life is Strange, but I think he'd like this one.
Did he play 2 Life is Strange 2?
He's never played any of them.
He would probably like that one,
but he's sort of getting into like these walking sims and decision games. He loves the Telltale stuff. And I think that like this whole convoluted story, alternate superhero thing, I think is maybe his shit.
Maybe.
And when I was playing it, like that was just in the back of my head, is like, maybe, this is maybe other people that are more open to these sorts of themes and things maybe really like this. Like I was thinking in my head, sorry to keep interrupting.
That's okay.
Haley told me she hates it. So I already know this, but I wrote in our chat, I was like, I wonder if Delvin and Haley love, because they love this superhero comic shit. And like, there was a part of me, I was like, I wonder if Delvin's like, this is the fucking it. This is it. And I'm like over here and I'm like, I hate this. And I don't know, he's not here. But Haley did tell me, she's like, oh, it's so bad. I was like, okay, well, I got that one wrong. But I am wondering if you're into that sort of thing, maybe if you take to this more.
I'm not into superheroes at all, and I liked it, so I don't know what that tells you.
Yeah, maybe it's just a bad theory then.
Why do you think Jack wouldn't like the first Life is Strange?
I just think it's like his I don't know how like he's into all of like the emotion aspects of making the decisions and being about relationships and I think he'd be like, this is boring. You know, where he, you know, he's when he, well, I mean, I don't know. He loves the original Walking Dead. He absolutely loved that game. So maybe I'm reading him wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm cutting him short. Maybe he'd like it.
Just curious.
Yeah, I don't know. He did. I've given him. He's been into the walking sim stuff lately, and kind of like these emotional games, but. Life is Strange, you know, like we talked about earlier, it's cheesy.
It is a little different, yeah.
And it's cornier, and I don't know how much he'd take to
way
that.
different.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if it's like one of those kind of things where like you probably hate it like when you're in high school, when you're like around that age, because like
maybe
you are living that every day.
That's very
you know, but once we're adults, you know, when we're playing it for the first time, you know, it's we kind of recognize the you know, absurdity of it.
Metageek, you've got to get on that. The Walking Dead's Telltale series is incredible, and the first season is one of the best video games I've ever played.
You would like it, yeah.
I mean,
I played the first couple, like the first episode or two of it.
Yarden.
Child abuse. Yarden says letting Jack play this could be considered child abuse. Yarden has like a very polarized view of it. He like uninstalled it and like never wants to talk about it again. I don't think you feel that strongly about it.
It's like I don't want to be super mean to it because it checks a lot of boxes.
You liked about it, and
it's good. It plays well, and here's at times. How do you feel about the graphical changes?
I didn't mind it.
Different in the art style. The style is different.
I didn't think it was like remarkably different. I actually liked that about it. I thought it looked really.
Well, it doesn't
nice.
have like that that painterly, like everything looks a bit more realistic, right? It's a more mature style.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It's just different. I'm kind of. I think I'm here for both. I think this game, at times, even on Switch, this game's really pretty.
Yeah.
There's some really cinematic moments where the facial expressions really come through. I will tell you, having beat the game now, the more you play it, the Switch does start to show its Switchness.
Yeah.
Cutscenes can be rather rough, particularly not when like characters are just standing still and talking. Those seem to hold up pretty well. In cutscenes, when characters start moving and walking around, it kind of starts to fall apart. Like you're like, well, that's not very good.
I played it on PC. I actually had, and maybe this was because I played it like right away, like early. You know how it released a little early, the first couple episodes.
Yeah, they had some issues at launch, right?
Yeah, I had a lot of issues with the audio cutting in and out, like you know, where they would like talk over each other, or it would just like something that they were saying would just suddenly cut out, or
that's a real bummer.
Yeah, that part. And like I feel like I kind of missed you know, some of that background stuff that we love about Life is Strange, you know, of the world building, because I missed some of those background conversations.
Speaking of that background, I think the soundtrack is Life is Strange, but not very memorable. Like I didn't have like those musical set pieces that like really drove the story. So I don't really feel like this is the first Life is Strange game where I didn't like immediately like go add the soundtrack to my library. I don't even really know it's almost like the soundtrack is just more background music as opposed to being like a part of the story like in the other games.
I do wish that the soundtrack was better. I liked the song that played on the title screen between chapters a lot.
I was wondering if that was a Billie Eilish song, because it kind of sounds like her little style of music.
Yeah, it kind of does sound like her. Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy. Did they get Billie Eilish?
No.
But yeah, like we didn't have those moments where Max sits down and, or like the concert or sits down with a guitar or Cassidy's song and stuff. Like I live for those moments in Life is Strange. I didn't feel like I really had any of those here. It's less artsy than the previous installments. I think ultimately it's to like be to have a take. I mean, I think that's pretty objectable, right?
Which is crazy because she is, a resident and artist or artist in residence.
Right. Yeah.
I think you're right. It probably would have been really cool to have like a scene where she's like in a class and she's, teaching or helping or doing something.
Just that flip, that compare, like that nod to what started. I think that would have been cool. I also think there's a game here where you're playing like Sophie's and her revenge and this backstory and this mind. Like if that was the game, if you got Max, all that, and you're Sophie and you're doing all this and you're uncovering this mystery and you're getting revenge and all that, and then it leads you to meeting Matt, and like there's something there where I'm like, that's a real Life is Strange game.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been cool.
This, not as much.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree
I'm not
with
upset
a lot
that
of
I
what you
played
said.
it. Like, I'm not upset that I played it, but this is how I felt with The Last of Us. It was so bad. I was just like, it's great, but I don't like it.
I think me and you are different in that you know what you want going into something and you're upset when it's not that. Whereas I like try to keep it like, I'm not expecting a certain thing. Like, I'm kind of more easygoing with like what it does give me. Like, I'm not upset if it's not exactly
more accepting.
Yeah. Like I try not to set expectations going into something.
Or have like personal wants and desires.
Yeah. Like I obviously have those, but like, I don't try to go into a game like being like, this is what I want, expect.
Good G man. Listen, Donnie. Hey, you know what? Go record your own podcast. This is mine. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions. It's mid.
He's agreeing with you. He said you can like parts throughout the game, then gameplay can feel rough and hated.
Thank you. I took that completely the other way. I just saw the first sentence. Like, listen, Donnie. It's like, oh man. It's out of history, right? Like I'm conditioned to react that way to the chat.
G-Man is very agreeable. Yeah, I'm sorry you felt that way about Life is Strange, but I get it.
Yeah, I'm glad I bought it.
Good.
Like I don't mind having it. I have
You're
all
not
of my
like
life
Yarden unstalling it and refusing to acknowledge
throwing it in the river. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I have all of the Life is Strange games on Switch now. I have the whole thing. So
sorry to hear that.
Switch 2 would be better. I want to play. I maybe want to replay one of those older ones and see if they hold up compared to the remaster.
Yeah.
Because the remaster is bad. I am very much wondering if it's just the remaster. Because like, there's no reason why the remaster runs so bad when the new game runs so well. Isn't the new game? It's like Unreal Engine 5 on Switch.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Move on from Life is Strange.
Yeah, I played Nexamon a little bit more, and I'm still really enjoying that. But last night I sat down. Having now gotten Life is Strange off the plate, I went to the shelf and was like, I've been buying tons of games lately, and I was like, let's play something. And I pulled out Marvel vs. Capcom collection.
Did it feel like Life is Strange?
I'm sorry?
Did it feel like you were playing Life is Strange?
No. I've had these games. I mean, I've never owned these games. I've never owned a Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game. I've played them. Like I've seen them in an arcade and put a quarter in every now and again. I've been at somebody's house that, passed the controller once or twice, but I've never actually had them. And this is one of my favorite things about gaming, like recent times, like maybe this generation of gaming, call it the last 10 years, We have so many of these like retro collections and compilation things that we can buy, and I'm addicted to these. I love buying this stuff. Just like it's like a little archival, right? You just grab it, get all these games. There's so much bang for your buck. And this collection is just like the other. Like it's great. I was playing it last night. I was sharing some photo. Like one, it looks great. It's so much better than emulating. Like you can totally emulate all of these. You can put them on Delta, you put them on your phone, and it's not a problem. But the fan service that they add to these things, the little bonuses, the borders, the set, it's so good. It's like I'd rather
standard now. Like if they don't, I'm disappointed.
I'd rather buy that than set all it up myself. It's like, no, I'll just give them the money. Yeah. Right. It came with a comic book in the case. There's like a little mini Marvel Capcom comic book. You remember, like we used to get manuals and stuff in the game. They came with a little comic book that they put in the case.
That's great.
It's all kinds of little special. I got it for $20. And last night I played Marvel versus Street Fighter was one of the games in the collection, and the other one was Marvel versus Capcom 2. And I was playing a Sabretooth and Rogue and just, mashing buttons hoping to win. Like I've never been like, I'm like, I don't know. The thing that I love about this is they map your special moves to a button. And they did this, Street Fighter on 3DS did this for dummies like me that can't roll the D-pad, strong punch, super kick, like you just press the special button. If you have to like earn it, right? You've got to get the special gauge and all that. But if you do that, you can just do it and pull off cool things. So nice. I'm making big superhero shit happen on my screen. I'm like, this is cool. It's not lost on me that I'm playing Life is Strange. I'm like, what is this superhero shit? And then I literally went into playing superhero shit. So expectations, they'll get you every time. But I really like it. It's a cool little compilation. People should give it a try.
Good. I'm glad that it's nice on Switch too.
There's another one coming out. I'm going to buy that one too. And I have like the Capcom beat 'em up bundle and the Sega ones. Have you ever got into any of these things?
Absolutely not.
I have the Neo Geo collection that I got for limited run.
Don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
The only fighting I like is old school Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It's the only thing I like.
Do you have the Street Fighter 30th collection?
No.
You should get that. Those are cheap. For like $10-15, usually $20 maybe. And it's like a collection of all Street Fighters.
If it doesn't have Chun-Li, I don't want it.
It's got all the Chun-Lis.
Oh, good. Excellent.
It's good stuff. That's it.
Let's talk about the Switch 2. We're talking about the Switch 2 every week until it launches, guys.
100%. And hopefully it's not that far away. So we have Switch 2 updates. Nintendo clarified their Direct. So the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct kicks off at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, April 2nd.
I put in a personal day at work for April 2nd.
I took the day off. We can stream it. I took the day off. I'm going to stream the Direct, and I'm going to order sushi like I always have. I'm order sushi for lunch.
Maybe I'll join you if you'll have me.
I'll definitely have you. It's open to anybody that wants to join because I don't think listen. So Delvin is not even going. Not only is he not going to stream the Direct with us.
He's not even going to. That's crazy.
He's not even going to podcast.
What?
He's not even podcasting with us that day. That's his birthday. So he has plans to go get some, and he can't be bothered to podcast.
What an amazing birthday gift. Go get something the day before.
He's not even going to watch it. I'm just as stunned as you. So, because I was asking them, I was like, so what are we going to do? Are we going to like Shaq Invades PSVG that night? Because obviously we're going to record the podcast.
What day of the week is it? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Or do we just record Shaq, like, if we're both off, do we just record Shaq that day, like at noon?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Right? We could just knock it out.
Especially if Delvin's not joining us. What the hell?
I was like, like I'm at a loss for. I'm like, literally, it's the whole year. like this is it, man.
This is what we've been waiting for
years. Like this is the day, the whole day. And he's like, oh well, I'll be at a hotel. I'm like, oh my god. Maybe I never thought about this because I didn't think you were being off. If you're off, maybe we can get them to record with us early in the day. That's an alternative. Like, hey, we're gonna record the podcast at noon.
I don't understand why he wouldn't watch it. It's like not at an unreasonable time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, West Coast, RIP West Coast. They got to wake up at 6 a.m.
6 in the morning. Garrett Bland over there rubbing.
I would do it, but like it's at a reasonable time for us, so why wouldn't he?
Yeah, I'll chase that. I'll chase that and see what we can come up with. But
okay,
Shaq needs to happen. It needs to happen April 2nd. So we'll have to figure it out. Some new patents Nintendo published came to light this week. The majority of them, if you've been seeing images float around the internet, focus on the mouse, the optical sensor for the mouse, and it shows all little, controllers doing mice thing. One of them is really surprising, in that it shows what looks to be some sort of pro controller that you could split in half and use it like a mouse.
I'm so angry about it.
So I just want to ask, do you think that's real or do you think that's just patent stuff?
Probably just patent stuff.
I agree. I'm inclined to agree. But I will say this. For all those people that are like, oh, Switch 2 is boring, that would shake things up real quick. Like if they were like, here's our pro controller, they just rip that shit in half. Like, oh my God.
Well, so I can't stand playing with the Joy-Con separated. So I would hate this.
So let me pitch this to you. Because this is right when I first saw it, is kind of here's where my brain kind of went. What if they're not like, yeah, it's a pro controller, right? But what if it's not necessarily sold like a pro controller? What if it's like the pro Joy-Con attachments that we've got, like the split pad pros? What if it's just like a meatier, better grip on the side that like go into the Switch, but you could bring them together like a pro controller? Because like we kind of have that now with the split pad pros. They have like a little rail that you can snap them into. Like we have the grips, right, with the Joy-Cons. What if they make like a pro Joy-Con, and this functionality, this patent is just kind of showing how that could work? Yeah. Like that, I think, is probably possible.
Yeah, I could see that.
I just don't necessarily think it's going to be like the pro controller breaks in half. I think it's probably like pro Joy-Cons that you can attach to something. There's like a grip or something. Yeah, that's kind of where my head was.
Pro-Cons or something.
Pro-Cons.
What a stupid name.
The Con Pro. That was a fun patent to see everybody like talk about. There was a patent that was showing the Joy-Cons resting in like a charging cradle, which I would love. That's way better than the charging grip and all that stuff.
Didn't it take them way too long to come up with like a charging dock thing for the Joy-Con?
We had like the tower that you could plug in, but it was always like the little USB thing you had to plug into the dock and stuff. Like, I've got the 3DS cradle. Like I love who doesn't love a great cradle, right? A little docking tray. So I would buy that if that's a thing. And I don't even need it. I would buy it anyway, just for the looks. Further Switch 2 type stuff. EA CEO Andrew Wilson said that Football Club and Madden games might find real energy on Switch 2. So if you're out there like me and many others hoping that EA will support Switch 2, that gives you some hope.
Real energy.
Real energy. I didn't write this down, but Take-Two CEO also spoke about Switch 2, in which he said that, yeah, we want to support Switch 2, and he reiterated we've supported Switch 1 with, L.A. Noire and Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. Sure. But he said something that I think is actually topical, and I'm paraphrasing because I didn't write it down, but it was something along the lines of, the Switch has proven to us that Nintendo has like evolved beyond like a child console. It's not a console aimed at children, and now there's like adults and there's a whole bunch of people that play it. And apparently now that makes more sense for Take-Two to support it with software because of that reason.
Okay.
So, yeah. Furukawa says Nintendo will take all possible measures to combat the issue of scalpers and resellers when it launches the console later this year.
Good.
I think they say this every time they launch anything. I think they just say this. Do you have like any thoughts to how they can do like what they're going to do? Because I don't. They're not going to like sell 10 million of these things direct to consumers, like through their store. I don't think.
Why not?
I just think they're shipping and everything. I don't like. Have we seen them like move weight like that way, like big amounts of product?
Maybe that's why they waited this long.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that would help if they would like open that up to. Maybe they could have like if you have an NSO account you can like, get in a pre-bid or a early purchase or something. That would be nice.
That would be cool because I think that could also help prevent scalpers, because how many scalpers realistically are going to like do that 100 times? You know what I mean?
Well, and even if you limit it to one per purchase, just like they did like when they launched the NES controllers, right? You could only get one per NSO account.
Yep.
That would help. That would
It
help.
would.
I actually never think about that. That would help a lot.
Real fans will do it if they don't already have it.
Even with Nintendo shipping costs, like if I had the ease of access to buy one, I'm gladly pay the $20-$30 to ship it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'd actually never think about that until right now. That would be great. Hopefully that's what they mean.
Do you think people would feel like, people who aren't NSO members, do you think they would feel like, oh man, I have to like sign up for NSO just to get this? Like, I don't think they would care.
Yeah, I don't think they would care, but I mean, it's like you still have the option to fight at Walmart and Amazon and Best. Like, that's not taking that away.
Yeah.
And even those things, you got to have Walmart Plus, you got to have Best Buy customer or whatever. Like, they lock these sorts of things behind their royalty, points and all that. So, loyalty programs and all that. So,
yeah.
Maybe most notably, Furukawa says Nintendo will follow and have the new console will have affordable prices the customers expect from Nintendo.
That makes me feel better, honestly. Like, I feel like now that it's more likely to be $399 instead of $429 or $449.
Probably just rule out that 500 hope.
Yeah,
because 500 is going to be sticker shock to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that statement makes me feel better.
Nintendo released financials this week. The Nintendo Switch has sold 150.86 million units. They have lowered their forecast for the year once again. That's been an ongoing story. They said they were going to sell 14 million of them. I think by this number, that means last quarter they only sold like 2 million Switches. So like they're way off on their number, which
that's expected.
It's expected. It's year 8. Like,
come on,
everybody knows.
We already know that there's something else coming. People are slowing down.
Mario Kart 8, however, sold 5 million units last quarter.
Of course it did.
More
than Switch sold.
I think it's sold more than every Switch game this year except Mario Party.
Wow.
So all the games that came out there, Princess Peach, Donkey Kong, Mario Party, all the remasters, all that, like Mario Kart 8 outsold them all except for Mario Party.
That is something.
Like 10 years later.
How do you explain this? Is this people rebuying it because they lost theirs, or
I think it probably has a lot. Don't they have a lot of those bundles, those holiday bundles where it comes packed in? I think that's probably juicing that number a bit.
Maybe, yeah.
So Mario Kart 8, 67 million. Animal Crossing New Horizons at 47 million. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate at 35. Breath of the Wild at 32. Which is interesting. Tears of the Kingdom at 21. Scarlet and Violet, 26 million apiece each. Switch Sports over 15 million units sold. Those numbers just keeps going up. Echoes of Wisdom has sold 4 million copies. So not bad. Probably very good returns for that game, what they spent to make it, but also for a Zelda game, you'd want more.
For a top down, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's yeah. And Nintendo reconfirmed Pokemon Legends ZA and Metroid Prime 4 coming to Switch this year.
It's February.
Switch,
We're gonna
Switch
see.
1.
I think we're gonna see Pokemon Legends ZA this month.
Pokemon Day?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I don't know. I would hope so. Because last year, their Pokemon Day was kind of a much ado about nothing, right? They can't do the back to back, so they got to show something.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta add Pokemon games to NSO.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why the hell? Why has none of that happened yet? Like, come on, just put one of them in there. Pokemon Yellow or something. Like, even on 3DS, they did that. Like, get with it already.
This is the year of Eevee, they said.
Get that Let's Go trial. You can play Let's Go for 48 hours.
God.
Furukawa says the company will keep selling the Switch as long as there's demand for the older console. And he did say, like, yeah, we're not selling as many as we want, but he reiterated it's still selling though. Like, we're still selling consoles like 8 years into the thing.
Do you know how many times I see on TikTok these girlies who are like, just got to Switch in Animal Crossing for the first time. What other cozy game should I get, guys? And I'm like, why? Why are you getting it now? Like, please.
Because these people don't know. They don't know. They're not in the they're not in the loop like us.
It's so sad.
Like, I just got a Switch, and it's like, Switch 2! Bam!
They're going to feel so betrayed.
Nah, that's okay. That's their own fault. You know, you might be right. They may take it that way, but that's their own doing. Yeah. They still got a bunch of games to play. You know, like you could spend, if you're just not getting a Switch now, you got 8 years of games to catch up on.
Yeah. Then
you can get a Switch too. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. It says they want to sell games on Switch, highlighting okay. So he was asked about cross-gen support. And he said, hey, we would like to keep selling games on Switch, but did highlight it's important that new hardware have exclusive software.
Well, yes.
So a lot of people are reading into this one way or the other. I think it means exactly what it means, and I think it means exactly what they've done in the past. Just like when the Switch launched and we had 3DS, I think Switch will continue to get some games, probably for like a year. They won't get every game that comes to Switch 2, but some of them will probably be cross-gen.
Do you think they're going to release anything on Switch that doesn't immediately come to Switch 2?
Probably, maybe. Well, I mean, no, because Switch 2 is backwards compatible. So, yeah, no, that goes out the window.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything on Switch, you'll just be able to pop into your Switch 2, I think, unless there's like some weird backwards compatibility thing we don't, but they said it's backwards compatible, so I'd imagine that wouldn't be the case.
Okay.
My big question then is, when does Pokemon switch over? Is it after Legends, or is there do they keep going with the next Pokemon game? Is that also on Switch?
I bet Yazawa will release on both.
I think it's going to release on both, but what about the next one?
The next one will only be on the next console.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
GBA's Wario Land 4 is coming to Switch Online next week.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. That's pretty cool, yeah. I want another like Wario Land or a Wario World. That'd be awesome.
In a hot minute.
That'd be a really cool game to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Donkey Kong Country Returns HD has a demo.
Guess
so if you want to buy it,
what they expected.
You can try it. Super Mario World was added to Nintendo Music.
Hell yeah. Although I'm very upset because I listened to the whole thing and they don't have a 3-second soundbite that goes "eep" when you beat the level.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't exist.
Whoop. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 releases this May. There was like a little Capcom Direct, the new Onimusha remaster and stuff was there. And then the last news story that I have before we get into questions is I want to point out everybody's attention to Cubic Games. QUBIC Games. So, without you making fun of it, because we make fun of it every year they run a promotion called Switchmas, where if you log in every day, they have a new game that's free, but you have to have the game before it, right? So there's like 14 days of Switchmas, and every day you get a free game. And they're usually terrible games. They're like Coloring Book, Pong, like it's like dumb little games, but it's free games. I'm not going to be, beggars can't be choosers. They are running a 21st anniversary sale right now on Switch that has an enormous amount of deals that are crazy. They're giving games away for like 19 cents. $1, $2. Games like
stuff that even if you only play it once, it's worth it.
Games like KO the Kangaroo.
Oh.
Games like Arise. Games like Leo's Fortune. These are good games. Like, they're not all just bad. These are good games. So the other day I sat down. You've talked about this for years, and you're so right. It's a chore trying to buy games from the Nintendo eShop.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried buying anything from the website lately?
Yes, that's the only place where I find games. Like, if I want to look through the eShop, I don't look at the eShop. I look through the website.
So what I've done in the past is I'll open up the website, I'll scroll through the games I want, and I'll open them up in new tabs and then buy them. Mm-hmm. Now, when I open them, if I have more than one tab open on the Nintendo website and I go to buy something, it like errors out. It's like, you can't do that. And I have to like refresh my cache.
Oh, wait, that's
so
so annoying.
In one tab at a time. I was like, this is the worst.
Wow. What kind of design is that? That's horrible.
So it's a chore to even buy these things. But
Damn.
what I want to say is I spent like $7 and bought like almost 20 games. I bought so many games that I'm just gonna like try out. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Like one of them is a game called Game Deck, and it's like this cyberpunk RPG that came from mobile. It's like an Apple Arcade game. It's $1. But the thing about this sale is you have to own one of their games. So you need to go get like Coloring Book or one of their free games or like one of their 19-cent games. Get one of those in your library if you never did the Switchman stuff, and then you can buy the rest of these games. I got Arcane.
But like the cheapest
cool.
one is like 19 cents.
And they have like there's like 30 games for 19 cents each.
Okay, so you're not
There's
going to
a
be hard
bunch.
to find something, you know,
No.
that you don't even care about for cheap just to get everything else.
I think they have a couple free games. I think if you search like Cubic Games, I think they have free stuff. You could just add one to your library. So like I got that Arise game. Arise, what's it called? Arise, A Simple Story, the definitive edition. It's $1.50. And I'm it's just like a journey, like walking sim. I think it came out in Game Pass. I think I tried to play it once. If I remember, Golf Club Wasteland, Golf Club Nostalgia, The Cub. You know, I reviewed those games. No, nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm looking at Jess's comment and resonating with that. No, you got to read the second. You got to read the second sentence, Donnie.
Hope the Eagles fans eat horse poo again. What? What is that about?
No comment. Continue.
Oh, Hong Kong Massacre is a great game. Aspire, Innis Tale. I got this game, Rebecca. I'm going to try to play it. I'm going to come talk to you about it. It's called What the Duck.
That sounds fun.
It's some goofy adventure game, it looks like. So
I love ducks.
Fun games. Anybody that wants to go give it a try. Cubic Games, you go to their website, see all the games they have for sale. I'm going to put it in the chat. I just wanted to give it a shout out there. I love a good cheap game. Nothing makes me happier. And the Switch, let me tell you something. This is another big reason why I've been loving my Switch all year. The Switch has been kicking everyone else's asses when it comes to sales for some time now. Mm-hmm. Every one of these sales events, I'm just buying up buckets of games at $1, $2, $4 a piece. I feel like I have either bought all of those games on Steam, or they're just not running them anymore because all the stuff on Steam is not as cheap as it used to be anymore. You Steam Deckies have inflated the price. They give you the Steam sale and it's like 20% off. It's like, what happened to the 88% off that we used to get?
Steam sales have not been as good as they once were.
Yeah, they haven't been great. Whereas Switch, then they got bunches.
These all look like massive shovelware, but they're all like 9 cents, 9 cents, 50 cents. It's like,
oh, the Bit Trip Runner series are all 19 cents. I love those games. Do you ever play those games on Wii?
No.
Bit Trip, where you jump to the music and all that stuff. You never heard the Runner series? They're great. They're great games. You should buy all those.
But these are like things like if you play it like once, like it's worth it.
Yeah.
I actually was $1.90.
That's a great game, right? GameCube remake. You got to get that. Like the KO the Kangaroo is worth it alone. $2.
Bee Simulator is $1.49.
Is that a good one? I didn't buy that one.
I don't know. I always joke about it though.
I want you, if I could throw you a recommendation, try Bit Trip Runner and Bit Trip Beat. You like rhythm games.
I do.
They're 19 cents each. You get them both for 40 cents, 4 dimes, Rebecca. Does it cost you nothing? You probably have that in gold points, right? Like you get them for free. Golf Guys is on here for 19 cents. Holy shit, Golf Guys. Everybody get Golf Guys. Do you remember when I talked about that at all? Golf Guys is it's like Fall Guys, but it's a golf game. Okay. It's like a battle royale. Like everybody golfs at the same time and you fall off.
Yeah.
It's 19 cents.
Yeah.
That's a really good get. There's a lot of stuff like that on here. You're right. A lot of it is shovelware. There's like
stuff that would be funny drinking with your friends and playing just silly back and forth.
What the hell is Foot Clinic? What the fuck?
Jeez. Oh
God. Don't get that.
Oh no.
That's gross.
Oh no.
So there is stuff like that in here too. I'm not saying they're all bangers, but there is good stuff in here.
Run, sausage, run.
Jason said he was going to get Style Savvy or something. It's like a bunch of like style games.
Candivity? Wait, it has cute little cats.
Wood turning 3D.
Wait a second. It's 9 cents if you have one of their other games. Otherwise, it's $3.
So you got to get one of their other games.
Okay.
I got Death's Hangover. I got that one. Oh, I got Neo Dory, which is it's like this PlayStation 1
What's the
arcade
cheapest
racer.
game to get then?
Hang on, let me find it. This is a fun little experiment. I'm going to find you a free game.
Wait, you can get if you get a free game and then you can get all these for cheap?
I think you just have to have one of their games in your library. And then all of the deals, all of the discounts come up. You just have to have one.
Oh my
of the
god,
games.
Foot Clinic. I see Foot Clinic.
Yeah.
Ew! What the No! Sheep Patrol. Oh my god, you're a border collie herding sheep. Bro, these look so bad. But it's 9 cents.
That's it. I'm not sure if this is Cubic Games or not. Yeah, this is Cubic Games. So I'm going to put this link in the chat.
Okay.
You tell me if this is free on your end. I think it's free. Yep. There you go. Add that and then you can get the deals. Okay. Coloring book. That's one of the Switchmas games. So do you remember when I talked about the Switch? I've done it every year for like 5 years. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have like a little, what's the Christmas thing you do where you open up the little windows or whatever?
Advent calendar.
Advent calendar. It's like that, but for games. They have like a little advent calendar and you go to the website and you get a free game every day. And they give away stupid games like this, like coloring book. To add to your, but yeah, they're free. But a lot of these games are good. You got to get What the Duck so we can play it together. It's like, so I read this and I bought it. It's 19 cents. Set out on an adventure of revenge and self-acceptance as you and your oddball ducking spirit animal try to make a name for yourself in a world where the toughest spirit animals hold all the power. It's an action adventure RPG with exploration, crafting, farming, combat, and spirit animals.
Okay. I'm in. Dude, some of these look so bad.
They do. They so do. Doll dress up.
Is Om just like a ripoff of Cut the Rope?
I didn't even see that one. Om Nom? The
Shopping
Nom?
Mall Girl.
DIY
Girl.
DIY makeup.
Space
Hair.
Cows. I like Space Cows.
Yeah, get Bit Trip Beat and Bit Trip Runner.
There's What the Duck. I see What the Duck.
Om Nom. What in the hell?
Do you know Cut the Rope, the little green character?
Yeah, it does look just like that. Huh.
ASMR slicing. Oh my god, I love this. I'm gonna get that one.
I'm so glad I brought this up on the show.
Dude, ASMR slicing.
Badland. That's a game. That's a game from like
I almost
generations ago.
don't want these taking up like icons on my Switch though.
You can delete them. Oh, the Chex Quest is in here. You can get Chex Quest for 19 cents.
Chex Quest. All right, I'm in.
Yeah, I bought. I wish I had my Switch. It's over across the room. I bought $7 worth of games, and it was like almost 20. Like I have rows of games. Dude. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that to celebrate the Super Bowl win tonight.
I'm a sucker just to try it. Like in a lot of these times, like even during Switchmas, I boot it up and I'll take it for a spin and be like, oh, this is trash. I delete it. Yeah. But every now and again, you're like,
but it was 9 cents.
But every now and again, you're like, but this is fun though. Yeah. Like this is good though. Like that Arise game, I played it for a minute. Like, have you played that game?
No.
I think you get Arise. That's a real game. That's a good game. That's like Journey. It's like a platformer. Like a narrative adventure game.
I don't know. That one's $1.49. This might be out of my.
That's too much. They're asking a lot.
Okay.
All right. That's it.
Thank you for
Back
that.
to the questions.
Or no, we're starting the questions. That was the end of our news. Okay. Starting with Mathman. The bigSwitch 2 Direct. We'll post at 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern. If you're nasty, thanks, Mathman. On April 2nd. How will you watch it, if at all? If at all, please. That's crazy. I don't have to leave home until 9, so I'll wake up my 18-year-old so we can watch it together. We always watch them together, even if we have to wait several hours. I love that for you, Mathman. I took off, as did Donnie.
Yep. If Jack was into it like he used to be, I'd let him stay home from school. But he's not, so he needs to take his ass to school. So, but I'll be alone streaming it.
He should pretend to be into it so he gets a day off.
So if he was smart enough to figure that out, I would have let him. But now I know he's not, so that wouldn't fly with me now. Like I told him, I was like, switch April 2nd. He's like, okay. Just like walked away. I was like, okay, well. So it's just me. I am my wife's oldest child. Like, everybody's like, nobody cares, Dad. I care. It's real to me.
No, he'll get back into it.
Yeah,
he's got to get out of that like I'm too cool phase.
He's definitely all in that phase. We were trying to get him to sign up for football, and he's like, nah. And like the other night, we went out to dinner, and it's so funny
sign him
you
up
say
for
that.
Football. That's crazy. You want
he used to want to.
Neck injuries.
Well, he said he used to want to. So we're trying to like encourage him because right now, like all he's really been done like all summer and school year, he just like hangs out on his Xbox with his friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like all he's doing. So we're like, you've got to find we got to get you in a club or something. You got to find an extracurricular as you go into high school.
That's fair.
So we're like, do you want to get like into football? And he's like, no. You want to get a band? No. And we're like, what do you want to do? And he's like, Rebecca, he looked at me. He's like go to the gym and lift. So I'm like, oh my God.
Hey, that's not bad. That's actually pretty good. He should do that.
I want to find him like a boxing class or a UFC class or something to get into. Yeah.
Nice.
But he's very much like, that teenage boy right now.
Okay.
Do you even lift, bro?
That's good, though. That's healthy.
Yeah.
All right. Kate asks us, do you think the Switch will get another Zelda game before it's finished? Mario? No and no. Absolutely not.
You don't think so?
The Switch won?
Yeah.
No!
Okay, when are we getting another Zelda game?
Like, not a remaster?
No, so I think a remaster, that would count, right? Like, we're going to get a remaster soon, next year or two. Right?
I think it'll be on the Switch too.
Are we getting a new Zelda game this year?
A new Zelda game?
Just a Zelda game. Are we getting a released Zelda game this year?
Maybe
we're going to go a whole year with no Zelda?
Maybe a remaster.
Is it Breath of the Wild remastered?
Yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah, you're right. I think they're probably going to do one of like the Wind Waker, the Twilight Princess.
I think that is also
a Minish Cap. Something.
I don't think it's going to be on the Switch 1. I think it's going to be on the Switch 2.
Man, could you imagine they do Wind Waker HD and it's only on Switch 2? That would piss off a lot of people.
I could 100% see that. Totally.
Wow. That would
and I think that is what will happen.
Wow. I tried, Kate. I'm going to bat for you. Rebecca's shooting them all down.
Same thing with Mario. We're not getting another Mario release on the Switch. It's going to be on the Switch.
I think that's probably likely, yeah. I wouldn't bet on the Mario.
They want to sell new consoles. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm thinking Mario like Donkey Kong versus Mario. Is there like a spin-off Mario or something?
No, a Mario.
You mean a Mario 2D, 3D Mario game. Got it. Okay.
She didn't say Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Princess
Was it
Peach.
like Mario Party? That wouldn't count? You mean like Mario game. Got it.
Mario.
Got it. Copy.
Mr. Vargas asks us, now that the Switch's time is coming to an end, what games do you think are the most visually impressive? Good question. You still like Luigi's Mansion 3, right?
I still think the animation and the detail of the visual assets in that game are next level. No pun intended. But like they're the best. There's games like that where I think the graphics, like the assets, are very impressive. Then there's games where I think the style is very impressive. And I think something like that comes to mind. I think of Astral Chain. Not like visually, not like overblowing, but like the style is very impressive. So it looks great, even though it's not like. I think I've never played it, but I think Xenoblade 3, every time I've seen it, looks really good. Like the visuals look really good, like a big glow up for Xenoblade based on how that started on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Xenoblade 2 was like the launch game, right?
Mm-hmm.
That game is rough. That game is rough as hell to look at. So Xenoblade 3 looked like it was a big glow up in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Pikmin 4 is beautiful.
Pikmin 4 is beautiful. That is a really good get.
And
That's a really good one.
Also Metroid Prime Remastered. It's beautiful.
Also, yeah, very good. Breath of the Wild is gorgeous. You know, so was Tears of the Kingdom. Both of those games are really pretty. I just love that style.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's like a half dozen ports we're not thinking about. Tons. Oh God, Neva, Gree.
Yeah, anything like very artistic like that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight is a gorgeous game. Sayonara Wild Hearts, for sure. All of those. Great.
Mm-hmm. Hobik says, what do you think Nintendo has named the mouse feature on the Switch 2 Joy-Cons? If they don't call it Joy-Con drift, it's a missed opportunity. What a way. Like, do you ever see those things where they try to stop people from like Googling like negative things, so they like lean into it and make a feature?
Yeah.
Like the theory that they called Frozen, so that when you type in Disney Frozen, it doesn't come up with like Walt Disney's frozen head anymore.
Wow.
You ever hear that theory?
Yeah, no, I've never heard it, but that makes a lot of sense.
Call it Joy-Con drift to get rid of any negative.
I mean, those Joy-Cons in that trailer, those Joy-Cons were drifting. That's sure. I mean, Tokyo Drift, they were just sliding around. So I love it. That's hilarious. It's also just a great troll.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost root for it just for that. Chat's still throwing out great stuff. Ori and the Blind Forest, good call. The Tourist, it's a beautiful game.
I like Squeak. Nintendo Squeak.
I mean, I'm sure they're just going to call it like mouse mode. Like they're going to call it something lame like that. That's what they do. I always expect the worst. Cursor
It'll be like
mode.
MouseCon or something.
Cursor mode. That's what the C button stands for. Cursor mode.
My God.
It is so Nintendo to like release a console and get everybody excited about playing games with a mouse again. Like this shit that people have done forever, and like we take it for granted. Everything about it. Nintendo does it. Everybody's like, "Oh my God,
so innovative!" You're right.
Are we really going to be sliding around? Like, we're not going to be playing Splatoon with a mouse, are we? Really? Like, that's going to split the user base even further. Like, you're trying to play Splatoon, you're getting mouse to death.
Oh my God, I can't. I don't think I will take to this. Like, I feel like I don't want to be like set up in like a spot. Like, I want to be like upside down on my bed playing in handheld mode. I don't want to be like.
And you can. You're just going to get worked by the people with the mouse.
I'm very much a fidgeter. Like I've like changed how I'm sitting like 14 times during this entire podcast, like sitting on my feet, like, you know, shifting around. Like I don't like to sit in one spot and be in one position, like just like, you know, for an extended period of time. Like I
get it.
That's why I like the Switch, because I can like shift around and move around, and I don't have to be like, you know, with a mouse and with the controller sitting on my couch.
Maybe I'll eat these words, but I mean, I generally think it's going to be very much like HD Rumble. It's like probably have a couple games that build around it and stuff, but like, I think, you know, a few years in, I don't think it's something we're going to be like thinking about like every day.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody's going to be just sitting there playing with a mouse the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't think that's it. I didn't put this in the patent thing, but this was a part of it, and it was a big part of it, and I was excited about it. I just never got it into the notes. But the motion controls apparently in the Switch 2 are updated, or at least somewhat, that they found out that it would be 9-axis rotation as opposed to 6-axis that we have now. So you should have better gyro in that regard. And the 9-axis, as I understand it, is more like the VR controllers, and that it helps the system determine depth. So like back and like forward and backwards, like in a space depth. that 6-axis doesn't.
Okay.
So perhaps that means better motion tracking. Perhaps. I don't want to go that far. I think it means better gyro and then
I would like
maybe
that.
better motion
Yeah.
tracking.
I like the sound of that a lot.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I Can't See asks us, thought experiment for the show. Do you think Alarmo was somewhat of a tech demo or experiment for the Switch 2? An Alarmo app, maybe? Motion tracking that doesn't require Joy-Con? What are your thoughts?
So is the idea that the Alarmo has some sort of tech as a proving ground for Switch 2? Is that the idea?
Yeah, maybe. Because you know how it like detects like movement and stuff like that?
Perhaps. I mean, Nintendo is very good at like, we have this tech and these patents. How can we spin these off and to make different products with them? I could see that being a thing. Like, I imagine the Alarmo uses the IR sensor to do that. I mean, yeah, it sounds very similar.
Bring back iToy from the PlayStation 2. That's what we all want. I don't know why you're laughing. Why are you laughing? iToy, you remember iToy?
I do. Yeah.
That was amazing. That was like
amazing
at the time. At the time, that was like the most incredible thing. You could be on the TV and you could be, like,
remember
the bubbles and stuff.
I remember. That's that Connect before Connect. Yeah, people. I mean, I remember that time. I remember at E3 when that thing came. Like, it was all like everything was iToy. Everybody's trying to do that stuff. Yeah, what a time. What a time to be alive. You give me so much nostalgia back then. Because the Wii changed everybody started doing it. We got the Move and iToy and the like everything became like these gimmick games. Mm-hmm. I miss that about video games. We need more snake oil salesmen in video games.
Well,
come sell us some shit.
This is the mouse thing is that and the Alarmo and whatever this.
I think the mouse has a lot more functionality than that. You know, the mouse, like I said, to me, I look at the mouse more than, like, I think people look at the mouse and they think like shooters, like first person, they think of like Metroid and that's what they think of the mouse.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more, I agree.
I look at the mouse and I think more of like the Wii, like the OS, like being able to navigate and touch the screen. Because that's what the Wii was. The Wii gave you a touch screen on your television. And that's like where I think of. So I'm thinking more like Mario Maker. I'm thinking like Civ. I'm thinking more creation than...
Because... Here's why
decision.
I agree with you, because these types of games, it's like there's a solution for it already. They did not need to come up with a solution to play these games better on Switch. You can already successfully play, shooters and things like that. Whereas they need a better solution for things like Mario Maker and like Campus app and things like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So I feel like that's what it's going to be primarily for.
Yeah, I think of it more like a stylus. It's going to be like a stylus for your television, which I think is awesome. So I'm here for that. And I think there's going to be really cool applications in games where it's like pop your Joy-Con off and draw something or trace something, or, I think there's going to be stuff like that are going to be kind of neat that people are probably going to hate because everybody hates anything a game asks you to do anything other than move the stick, But it's going to be like furthermore, like what, the PlayStation has like the touchpad that they barely use. I think Nintendo's probably taking a cue out of that and they're like, we can do something with that. It's like the same idea, but different approach, different execution. I get legit excited about Mario Maker. Like Mario Maker sounds ideal. I also wonder, like, is this something, does Xbox update Minecraft? It's like the kids would go nuts in Minecraft for this thing.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah. There's stuff like that.
I think it's very possible.
It's going to be very exciting.
Yeah. Question TPR is asking us question for the show on Sunday. What is the game you own the most copies of? Not online sub access, but actually bought digital or physical copies of. All right, hold on. I got to count. Let me write it down because it's a link to the past.
He finishes his question. I'm betting Donnie has 6 copies of Turok Across Generations. The reason that he asked this, I think, is because I just posted. You remember I told you earlier that I wanted to go to the Limit Run store in North Carolina, and you were like, Josh is going to go.
Yep.
The big thing that I've been like collecting, I guess, trying to complete is all of the limited run Turok games because they make special slipcovers for them. There's like a Turok collection that has an N64 cartridge on the cover, and then there's a collection slipcover you can put all 3 games in. And I just completed that set. So I have Turok 1, 2, and 3 on Switch, all physical, and the slipcover. So I posted that, and he asked this question. And I don't know what the answer to this is, but Turok is a good guess, because I'm pretty sure I own copies of those games across Switch and PC. And on Switch, digital and physical. So, and if you count the NSO copies and the amount of ROMs on my computer as copies, I do have a lot of copies of Turok. that is true. Probably more so than other games. There's not a lot of games that I'll buy duplicates of, but that's one of them.
I think I got
Is
it.
there anything else?
All right, take a number. Guess how many digital / physical copies of A Link to the Past I have.
Hang on, just let me finish I also have the 64 cards of Turok too, so that's a lot. All right, Link to the Past. How many copies of Link to the Past exist? A lot. You've got Super Nintendo, GBA.
Do you want me to just name? Should I just name them, because I listed where I have them?
Virtual? Are you counting Virtual Console?
If I bought it and it's not a subscription, is the parameters.
12.
No, I don't think there's that many that exist.
Damn.
Here, okay, I'm going to read what I have here, and this is generally, I think, the order in which I bought them, maybe. Super Nintendo, physically. That's 1. 2, the GBA, physically.
Right.
3, the Wii Virtual Console. 4, the Wii U Virtual Console. 5, the 3DS Virtual Console. 6, I have the Super Famicom Japanese version of the game, physical. And 7, the Super Nintendo Mini.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot.
And then if you wanted to include subscriptions, I have it on Switch. I have it as a ROM on every device that exists.
Sure. It was subsequently re-released on the Wii, the Wii U, the 3DS.
Oh yeah, Jules did win. Good job, Jules.
What did Jules win? Oh, the
Jules
count.
guessed 7, yeah.
The count.
I don't
That's
think
good.
I'm forgetting anything.
No, I don't think you are either. That's what I was wondering. I was like, how many systems is it available on?
Wait. Is it on the Game & Watch? Or is that Link's Awakening?
I thought it was the original Zelda.
No, there's 3 games on it. There's the original Zelda, Zelda 2.
Is it really?
I think it
it
might
was
be
just a
Link's
one
Awakening.
game.
No.
Maybe I need the Game & Watch. I never really looked into it because I thought it was just the one.
Okay, it's Link's Awakening. Okay, it's not a Link's Awakening.
Okay. Nah, who needs it? It's fine. Yeah. I don't have that many copies of any Zelda game. I wonder what Zelda game I own the most copies for.
Probably Twilight Princess.
Yeah, but I really don't. I've gotten rid of a lot of those things. It's probably Breath of the Wild.
For how much I don't care for Twilight Princess, I have it on GameCube, Wii U, and when it comes to Switch, I'll have that.
Yeah, I don't have any physical GameCube games. So the GameCube and Wii games I have on my hacked Wii U. I don't have any physical Wii U games.
Okay.
I do have Wii games. I don't think I have Twilight Princess on Wii. I have Skyward Sword on Wii, physical. My hacked Wii also has, I've just hacked all those systems, so I don't have those games. So it's Breath of the Wild. I have probably 3 or 4 copies of Breath of the Wild, I think.
Wow.
I have a digital copy, a physical copy. I have the master and the special edition copy. Because they came with specific covers. So I think it's probably that one.
That's crazy.
But
yeah.
I think Turok's a good guess for me.
That's very good.
Hang on, let me write this down.
It's kind of fun to think about, isn't it?
I have Turok 1, 2, and 3 on PC and Switch. So that's 6. Then that's digital. Then I have 3 more physical. That's 9. and I have the Karts. That's 12. So I have 12 copies of Turok 1, 2, and 3, either physical or digital on Steam, Switch, and N64. So, yeah, that's probably a really good bet. I don't think I have... I was thinking like maybe Ocarina of Time if I counted digital versions, because I do have Ocarina of Time like everywhere. like it's kind of on everything I have.
That is true. I think that is definitely up there for me too.
Yeah. I have Wii, Switch, NSO, N64, PC port. Not GameCube, because again, I don't have a GameCube anymore. It's on my Wii U. 3DS. Yeah, a lot of... Actually, that's got to be the game I own the most copies of, the most Zelda copies. It's got to be Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm. Ryan asks, what... Oh, I love this question. What is the top USB-C on the Switch 2 going to be used for? Dual screens? I would love that. I think it's just going to be an extra port.
iToy. Right?
iToy,
it's not going to be dual screens.
Can't you imagine like an accessory? They're like, oh, now we have DS games on Virtual Console or on Switch Online, and you have to buy this $30 accessory that you clip on. And
I mean, as fun as that is, the vents are on the top.
Yeah.
So you can't exhaust the system into the second screen, right?
Unless,
yeah, I guess
think it's just going to be.
I guess there's ways of engineering around that. You could have like a fan or like a different vent or something. I mean, it's possible, but it doesn't seem very likely. I don't think they're going to do anything like that.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting that they put that on top. I agree with you. It's definitely a port, and like that's a nice thing to have, especially when they try to do their tabletop mode thing, which is I think the reason they're doing this. I think they realized that the tabletop mode didn't really work like that without having like a little stand or something. But Nintendo is not one to put something on the system like at a feature level and not use. And I do wonder what they'll find to plug into that thing down the road. I think of like a lot of the Labo-like things. Like one of the things I think about, it'll be very interesting when somebody gets a hands-on with this. I want to know if that USB-C supports video out. Because if it does, there's VR type applications that you could do with it that maybe people aren't thinking about. Have you ever seen those glasses that you can plug into a thing and then put the glasses on?
Yeah.
And then play? Something like that with the top thing. I could see Nintendo doing something like that.
You could? Really?
With like a Joy-Con or something?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more there than like Labo VR. Right? Yeah, I think there's stuff like that we could do.
I am a lot more pessimistic about it, and I think it's just supposed to be an extra charging port for, when you want to play in tabletop and have it charged.
Do you think they do any sort of like battery pack? Like a battery boost accessory that you could plug in?
No. Well, you might see third-party stuff like that, but I don't think Nintendo's going to do it.
Oh, I didn't even think third-party. There's a lot of... I bet third parties are going to try to use that a lot to do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And this direct access to power.
Yep.
Bluetooth. I mean, they should already have Bluetooth, I guess. So you would need to accept it, the adapter. Storage? Do you have external storage?
I don't know. Like, nobody came up with that kind of stuff with the USB on it, like, to begin with. Like, there has been. This is not new. It's just a second one.
Right. But I'm wondering, because it's a second one and you're not thinking about it docked, like, if it's a USB-C and it has access to the system, which we don't know, but if it does, you could put, like, a connector in there to have, like, a second SD card.
Yeah.
You could expand the storage, like, twice.
And you wouldn't have to, like, unplug it. You would
still have access to power.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So there's something there. I mean, I don't know if they'll let us do it, but, like, if you could have 2 terabyte SD cards, like, that would be a lot better than just, like, that's not a bad little thing. And they make, like, little adapters and things you could clip on that would be relatively, like, unassuming. I don't hate that idea.
Yeah, I don't hate that idea either.
Yeah. Like, I do want them to have My biggest wish for Switch 2 is to have hot swappable storage. I would love to be able to hook an external hard drive into the dock and store games on it. That would be great. But I want to be able to freely move SD cards because eventually one day, they'll turn the servers off.
Yeah, I do think that should be a thing.
And if you don't have your games downloaded, that's it. You just don't have them anymore. They're just gone. So I think having an external solution for that would be great.
See Exhibit A, PSN network.
Facts. Did you see any of my tweets about that on Blue Sky? I haven't seen you on Blue Sky a lot.
No, I've been trying to be offline a little bit.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I've loved the people watching for the PSN outage. Like having been I'm just sitting back watching all these people mad. They're wanting free years and free games, and they're upset, and they're like, "I'm leaving. I'm going to Xbox."
Why don't you go outside for 24 hours instead of be attached to your TV?
I have a screenshot where somebody
one day where you're not playing.
I have a screenshot where somebody said that paying for PSN is paying twice for internet. And then there's a thread of them going back and forth with other people. They're like, wait a minute. So if I get rid of my internet connection, I can just pay for PSN. And they're like, yeah. And like, you just watch the conversation devolve. You're like, oh my God.
Jesus.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Good people watching.
That's why I've been offline lately.
That's why I turned the shit off.
Dude, my life has been great since being offline. It's fantastic.
Oh, look at Rodriguez says, I want something that allows more than one cartridge at the same time.
Ooh, didn't
like a
think about
separate
that.
loader. That is interesting. You plug in a thing and have 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's not bad. Not bad.
That reminds me of those old CD players and shit where you could load 12. Those disc changers that would spin around and shit.
Oh, jeez. It's good. Very good. All right. Indie Techno wants to know Super Bowl meal. I read that as meat at first. Super Bowl meal.
Super Bowl meat.
Meat meal. Wait, I can tell you what's on the menu at my household.
Yeah. Are they taking into account your vegan preferences?
I'm not vegan. I don't know why you always think I'm vegan. I'm not even vegetarian.
You don't eat meat though, right?
I eat meat. Yes, I do. The only thing
why do I think that?
You've said this multiple times because I don't eat beef. I don't eat
So it's just the cow. It's just the cow.
Just the cow. I don't eat
But
cow.
pig and everything else you're all in.
Yes.
Bird, dog, cat.
Yes. No!
I'm so glad. Yes! Kyle, do your thing. I was going to try to slip horse in there, but I thought I was a little greedy. It's like...
I don't think any cow product. I wish I could give up pig product too, but that is proving to be difficult as I really like pork and bacon. No, here's what's on the menu for us: lasagna with ground turkey instead of ground beef.
All right.
Sausage muffins. I don't know what that is. My dad showed me a picture of it. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Mozzarella cheese sticks, Caesar salad, chips, pretzels, and then also little pigs in a blanket. They are pork.
Very good.
I love the pigs in a blanket.
Since I'm not watching the Super Bowl, I don't have any meal plan. But since the Super Bowl is on, and I know Jack and the kids will be watching it, maybe I'll cook wings. I think wings are like the
Wings
football meal.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll cook chicken wings tonight. Go pull them out of the freezer.
Do it.
Yeah. I love a good
pigs
chicken
in a
wing.
blanket. They're my favorite.
I wish my wife made those.
Yeah.
I haven't had pigs on blanket in years, like
So
a decade.
yummy. Yeah.
Also, like those little smokies, like the little smoked sausages that you put like in the crock pot and cook them all day. You ever had those?
Mm-hmm.
Those are good too. Great little finger foods for football.
Tyler Cobb asks us, are you going to buy any more games for the Switch this year?
Tons.
the only ones that are, appearing before the Switch 2 is out and are not going to be on the Switch 2. Like, if something because we don't know, for all we know, the Switch 2 could come out in November. I don't think it will, but if it did, I would probably get Legends on the Switch. I would get Metroid Prime 4 on the Switch. If it's coming out day one, games that I want to get that are before the Switch 2. Yeah. Let
me rephrase the question maybe. Are there any games that you would wait to play on Switch 2 than just playing them when they release?
Prime 4.
Like if Prime 4 comes out let's say it comes out in April on Switch, but it comes out, you can play it on Switch 2 in July when the Switch 2 launches. You'll wait until July to play it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that tells me it's made for the Switch 2.
Yeah. I'm not in that boat. But I'm also okay, the answer is that I'm flush with credit. That's really the answer. So I told you for like a year or so, I've been stashing all of this credit at GameStop to buy the Switch 2. And then they closed my GameStop and like half of the GameStops around me. And honestly, if you have not paid attention to the news, like half the GameStops around the world, actually, they're closing all kinds of shit. If you're interested, you should go read the GameStop Reddit. It's pretty sad. But because they're doing that, and because I've notoriously had issues with GameStop's website, which is like the shittiest website in the world to try and use, I just made the decision that I do not want to buy my Switch 2 at GameStop. So what that meant was that I had like $600 worth of credit that I needed to move. So I started pre-ordering everything. So like I am just buying every game that comes out on Switch until further notice. I'm getting Atelier. I'm getting Xenoblade. Like I'm getting all of it. I'm getting Neva. I'm getting
credit,
Hello
and
Kitty.
The credit is stuck there. There's
it's just stuck there.
Worth in buying the games and then selling them.
I'm not even going to sell. I mean, I'm just going to.
You could if it's a game that you don't care about.
If I didn't have that, I probably would be more selective right now. But because I have it, I was like, yeah, let's just exhaust all of these funds.
You got to get rid of that credit.
Yep. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. I actually don't even think I'll make it past April. With all the pre-orders and the orders that I've already made, I think it'll run out probably March. Because there's like 3 or 4 things coming out in March that I pre-order. So it'll be fun.
You got to get rid of that credit immediately.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to buy probably wherever I can get it first. But that was the other thing. Like GameStop's website, when you try to order, like I tried to order, here's the funny story. I tried to spend the whole gift card at once. I went to GameStop's website and loaded up a card of like 40 Switch games. I was like, just give me all of these. And they locked the card. And
it probably looks suspicious.
And I couldn't do anything with the card for like 2. I had to call customers. I was like, I fucking hate these people. I hate
that. Probably would be like the sole reason why that store would have to close down if you spent $400 in credit.
And I know if you've never tried to order anything like on that website, like the way that it checks like your billing and your zip code, and I was like, if I'm trying to get a Switch and I have to input the gift card number and this is never going to work. Like, so I was like, I just get rid of this credit and I'll just buy it Best Buy or Amazon or something else. Yeah. So maybe Target.
Yeah, that's smart. Finally, we have a question from Shigeru Miyamoto himself. Do you see the Switch 2 replacing any of your other main consoles? I feel like if we get Avowed, Gears, and Fable, it could replace my Xbox out of the gate. Shiggy, it already is my main console. Unless you want to count like Steam Deck. In which I still tend to favor the Switch, I think.
I'm in the same boat. I haven't even really played my PC in a couple months. Like I've just been all Switch the whole time, Switch 64 for the last 3 or 4 or 5 months now. So I, like you, I'm in that boat where it's like, okay, Xbox, like let's get on with it. I'll buy Switch cartridges, thank you. So if Gears and Fable come over, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, what if they run significantly better on Xbox?
At this point, I'd still rather play them on, like I'd buy them. If I can buy them on Switch, I'm going to buy them on Switch. Because I have Game Pass until like 2028. So I can play them on PC for nothing. Like that's done for at least for several years. I don't have to worry about it. But I'm not adding anything to my Xbox library anymore. Like I've stopped buying games on Xbox, period. I haven't bought something on Xbox in, I can't tell you when. It's been so long. So at this point, my Series S is just like a legacy box. It has a lot of my original Xbox and 360 games that you can't get on PC. Like Fable 2, you can't play anywhere else but on a console.
Right.
And it has like, to be honest with you, my Series S is a Rock Band machine. It has my Rock Band 4 and all of my DLC. Like that's its primary focus right now is it's the Rock Band machine.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
I think that's a good compromise with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if they're not going to make the platform the focus and worthwhile, then neither am I.
Then what's the point? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, neither am I. I mean, I don't think anybody in your right mind could invest all of your money into that ecosystem without fear of it's just like turns into the cloud in 5 years. Like, I'm not interested. So.
Mm-hmm. That was our last question.
Oh, yeah. Well, fun show, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Enjoyed hanging out with you.
I'm so upset with him that he's not going to hang out with us on Switch 2 Day.
Well, maybe let me read because I think he just didn't want to do it that night. So maybe that morning, maybe he's more free.
All right, make it happen.
And I told Dev, I was like, we'll just invade Shaq. Dev was like, I'm leaving. So I don't know if Dev will even be there either. So it's probably just us again.
He's mad at me.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into it, but yeah. I think he's mad at you. I think he's upset you're mad at him or something. But yeah, there's friction in the house.
There is friction.
You guys figure it out.
It's okay. I don't need to. Yeah, that will be a party day, so I'm in. Yep.
Can't wait. And then that day, I'm hoping we'll find more days to take off. Launch day, like I'm holding on. I've got a bunch of time, and I'm about to set a Switch 2 vacation. I'm gonna have like a week off to just play Switch 2.
I hope it comes out in the summer, so I don't need to like worry about that. I hope it comes out like June 18th would be like the day.
I hope that's true, and like there's been a lot of speculation that's true. You know, Jeff said something like a year ago that is stuck in the back of my mind. He's like, June can become November real quick, and like, as much as I don't want that to be true, it is very right.
Don't say that. Don't say it.
With all the tariffs and shipping and everything, it's like, it could. But the reason that I have hope, and this reason doesn't matter to Nintendo at all because they've done this to us before, but like for them to be like April 2nd, this is the big thing, like a November wait is a long time.
And I even said, I think the reason why they're making us wait long to hear about it until April is because they'd rather it be like
short turnaround.
Yes.
I think
if they had this whole presentation in February and then they're like, oh, it releases in June, that would be like agony to wait that long.
Yeah, I also think they've been building these.
Mm-hmm.
They've been manufacturing these for a minute, right? So I don't think they're going to manufacture all year long and then launch it. I think it's probably likely this thing's May or June, something like that.
Yeah.
I think they wanted it to be March, and they just delayed it a bit. If I had to guess.
Yeah,
I think that was the idea. I think the idea was to unveil it this last fall and then launch it in March, and they were like, let's push it back 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, we will we'll see what happens.
We'll find out soon enough. It's not that long. And the direct happened and everything, we're like, oh my God, it's going to be forever. It's really not that long.
No, it's not.
We're almost mid-February. We're a month away. It'll be mid-March. Mid-March, it's like it's almost here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be counting those days down. Got me a mess the night before. Like it's very like Christmas to me to wake up. Like it's been a long time. But, I'm very excited for that. Almost feels dumb, like a 40-year-old man. I'm like, I can't wait.
You are finding something to be happy about. That is wonderful.
Yeah, I live for these, so
exactly.
I can't wait. What a quick games they're going to show us.
Mm-hmm. I bet you there's going to be things that we're just like, oh my God, like and then we don't hear about it for a while.
A 3-4 Switch.
Like they show like a
1-2 Switch 2.
They're going to do something like they are going to show a snippet of like Star Fox and we're going to be like, oh my God, Star Fox. And then we're not
oh my God, we are going to be like, oh my God, Star Fox. Yeah. I'd be so happy to see Star Fox come back. I was playing Star Fox this week on 64.
You were.
I went through 3 where it's so good. It's like, man, why aren't they doing this more? You know, Star Fox just as it is, just classic 64 Star Fox. Just do that, new levels, new story. I'm all in. So,
love it. All right, that's going to do it for this show. We'll be back next week, hopefully with Delvin and maybe some Pokemon Day news, although I think it'll be a little early for that. So we'll see. We'll see.
Hear me out. 1, 2, 3 switch.
Oh my Jesus.
I like 1, 2 switch too.
1, 2 switch 2. Jeez.
1, 2 switch 2 sounds fucking awesome.
All right. We will see you next time, Koopalings.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. This is Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening. And I forgot the line already. What?